which was better, the 1970 ABBA or the 1980 ABBA? It's not quite as simple as the 70s versus 80s, because the band didn't make anything after late 1981. They had two periods, in my view, before the album and after the album. The earlier songs were poppy, light, and a little simplistic at times. Mostly major key. There were some gems, like SOS, Dancing Queen, and Knowing Me, Knowing You, but they hadn't quite kicked into top gear yet. The album marked a new sophistication and confidence. From then on their songs were richer and deeper, taking on more complex subjects. Mostly minor key. This reached its zenith on their last album, The Visitors, which was also not their most commercially successful. So which was better? For me, the album and everything that followed was overall better than their earlier stuff. If you look at the pattern for a lot of rock and pop bands, that's actually unusual. Most bands are known for high initial creativity that tails off. In that respect, they were much more like the Beatles than they were like any other band. Why didn't the men in ABBA ever sing lead vocals? Early on they did. The first ABBA album Ring Ring has 12 songs. On the international release, 4 are sung by the Agneta and Frida together or solo, 4 are with alternating vocals between the men and women or singing in unison, and 4 are with vocals predominantly by Bjorn solo or together with Benny. The second album Waterloo also has 4 songs with main vocals by the women, 3 where the vocals alternate or are shared between all 4, and again 4 leads by Bjorn or Benny. The third album ABBA has 2 Bjorn leads plus a Benny-led instrumental, then every subsequent ABBA album has 1 song with a Bjorn lead vocal, except Super Trooper, which doesn't have a Bjorn song. The non-album single Summer Night City has the men and women singing alternating sections. The single Does Your Mother Know from Voulez-Vous was a Bjorn solo, with the women joining him on the chorus. Who is hotter, Frida or Agneta, from ABBA? Looks like the word hotter put this question under the weather category. I removed the weather-related tags. In my teenage youth, it was Agneta that I lusted after. 40 years later, I watch the old videos and now it is Frida that I find more attractive. The women didn't change, of course, but something in me changed as I got older. What does ABBA stand for? Agneta, Bjorn, Benny and Annie Fried. The initial letters of the first names of the band members. What was the first ABBA song you heard? I was given ABBA's greatest hits for Christmas when I was about 5 or 6, along with Father Abraham and the Smurfs and Boney M. Night Flight to Venus, and that was the first time I consciously listened to ABBA. I had heard Dana sing Dancing Queen on the radio and was convinced it was her song. Eagle was the first track on the cassette, so I suppose that must have been the first, but I knew Dancing Queen, so that was more likely the first one I really knew. That cassette was the start of a lifelong love of ABBA.